Believe it or not, the 2026 T20 World Cup, hosted by India and Sri Lanka, is already on the horizon. And let me tell you, this isn't just another tournament. This thing is shaping up to be an absolute blockbuster, especially for the defending champions.
Yeah, this right here really gets to the heart of it all. Look, for the 20 teams throwing their hats in the ring, this is about way more than just a trophy. For the defending champions, India, it's about settling old scores, finding redemption, and most importantly, cementing a legacy right there on home soil. Okay, so before we jump into the really fun stuff, the big predictions, let's quickly break down how this whole thing works, because you got to understand the journey to really appreciate who has a legit shot at the title.
So, picture this. It all kicks off with 20 teams in the group stage. From there, the best of the best move on to this really critical second phase. They call it the Super 8s. And once you're past that, it's do or die time. We're talking high-stakes knockouts, the semifinals, and then, of course, the grand final where just one team will be left standing.
Okay, so you're probably asking, what on earth are the Super 8s? Well, this is where the tournament really catches fire. It's where the real contenders start to pull away from the pack. And it's not a simple knockout. Oh no, it's actually something way more challenging. So here's the deal. The 8 teams that make it through get reshuffled into 2 brand new super intense groups of 4. Now, a little inside baseball for you. These groups are often shaped by something called pre-seeding to try and keep things balanced. But at the end of the day, you still have to claw your way into the top 2 of your new group just to even get a sniff of the semifinals. It is an absolutely brutal, unforgiving stage of this competition. All right, so we've got the roadmap down. Now let's get to the good stuff. Who's actually going to make it? Who are the teams we think can actually survive this gauntlet and make it all the way to the end? So when you look at how these Super 8 groups could shake out, it's like a tale of 2 completely different stories. Over in Group 1, you've got India, and, well, with that home advantage, they look like the clear favorite. But then you look at Group 2, hoo boy, that is the classic group of death, isn't it? I mean, you've got 4. Count them, 4 former champions in there: England, Australia, Pakistan, and the West Indies. Any one of them can beat the other on any given day. Getting out of that group is going to be an absolute dogfight. Okay, so we've mapped out the groups. Now let's really dig in and analyze the biggest threats. Because in a World Cup, it's not always about your strengths. A lot of the time, it's your weaknesses that send you home. And it looks like one of the biggest names might have a fatal flaw. And that brings us to the Aussies. Now, look, Australia is always a threat in a big tournament. You can never count them out. But this time around, there's some pretty big question marks, especially when you think about the conditions they'll be playing in. And this really breaks down the heart of the problem. See, Australia's entire T20 game plan is built around their incredible fast bowlers. You take out guys like Pat Cummins and Josh Hazlewood, and you're not just losing speed. You're losing that new ball dominance, that ability to control the crucial death overs. But here's the real kicker. On those slower, spin-friendly pitches in India and Sri Lanka, you need more than just raw pace. You need variety. You need cutters, slower balls, all the tricks in the book. Without their A-team, their attack could become way too one-dimensional, way too predictable. And in a high-pressure World Cup game, that is a fatal weakness. So while one cricketing giant seems to be showing some cracks, another one looks stronger than they've ever been. Just as we're asking questions about Australia, England looks like they have the absolute perfect formula for this tournament.
And yeah, I'm talking about England. Right now, you could argue they are the most complete T20 side on the planet. Their batting, it's fearless, and it runs deep. I mean, really deep. They've got a ton of all-rounders giving them options, and maybe most importantly, they just seem to have this incredible tactical clarity when the pressure is on in a knockout game. I mean, just think back to that 2022 semifinal where they just dismantled India. That kind of history, that gives you a huge psychological edge.
Which, of course, brings us to the defending champions themselves, India. The pressure of playing a World Cup on your home turf is just immense. But with that pressure comes a massive, massive advantage. And honestly, this Indian team just feels different. The biggest thing here is the mental shift. See, India isn't the team desperately chasing a World Cup anymore. They're the champions, and now they're protecting their crown. They have absolutely proven they can handle the heat. And this squad, it feels tailor-made for home conditions. They've got world-class spinners who can just strangle teams in the middle overs. And that middle order is packed with flexible, explosive hitters. They've learned from every win, every loss. They're ready. So, after all the drama of the group stages, after surviving the Super 8's gauntlet, and getting through the semis, all the signs seem to be pointing towards one absolutely epic, legacy-defining final. And here it is, our predicted final, India versus England. I mean, you couldn't write a better story, could you? You've got the defending champs on home soil up against the one team of challengers who know for a fact they can beat them. It's India's chance for redemption against England's sheer force of resistance. It's the home crowd and the conditions versus a team with just unshakable confidence. Man, what a final that would be.
And really, that's what it all comes down to, isn't it? Look, winning a World Cup is incredible, but to go back-to-back, to defend your title on home soil in front of your own fans, that's not just a win, that is the stuff of legend. That's how you build a dynasty.
So we'll leave you with the one question that matters. With all that pressure, with the weight of a nation's expectations, and with some of the best teams in the world standing in their way, can India actually pull it off? Can they make history? Can they do what so few teams have ever done and go back-to-back as T20 World Cup champions? Well, we're all going to have to wait and see.